said it's on Biden's watch, but Kamala's sitting at the head of FEMA. And she's, calling Ron DeSantis, and she's talking about she's doing this. She's walking along the borders and stuff. So it's like, we ain't seen Biden doing none of that. She's doing that. So it's like, I get it. We're trying to say it's Biden's watch, but Kamala was there too, and she's taking the lead on a lot of stuff. So I don't think people could continue to try to distance Kamala from the mess of this administration. 48 TCO, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. You say he did a good job interviewing her, but I wish he would have pushed a bit more. Yeah, but you can see, I think when you're a skilled interviewer, you understand where a person's threshold is, and you can see Kamala getting upset. Like, let's be stop it. Let's be clear. That once you get to go doing that kind of stuff, then it's like, yeah.
Well, no. What I was doing with that swallowing thing, you notice that when she gets nervous, if you look at her throat, it's and a lot of people do it when they get nervous. It's a refraction that they do.
Yeah.
So you can always tell when she's about to go into word salad because she's just nervous.
And it's like, but you don't by now know they're gonna ask you those questions around those type of questions. Like, why are you? I don't understand why she's so like. It's almost like she's stunned. Like, you want me to answer about the immigration? Well, I want to tell you that it was Trump's fault. He got to the Republicans and told them not to do it. But we know what I'm mad about. It's none of the interviewers ever asked her, how did the borders get open in the first place? I would love somebody to ask her that. Hey, Bernard, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Let's see here. Lady Blue, what's going on with you? Frank, how you doing? Says, wasn't she involved in a hit and run with her vehicle? I don't know how true it is. It sounds like it's not true.
Yeah, well, if you look in the California, Sacramento, one of the newspapers, it alleges an official, and a lot of people think it is her because she was the DA, somewhere around that time. And so somehow they magically make it disappear. It's alleged that was her.
Yeah, but I've seen people report saying it's not her, so we don't know. That's speculation. 48 TCO says, I'd be like, okay, back to the question I asked, are you avoiding it because you have no answers or because you know you effed up? I think it's the latter. She knows that she effed up, and they never thought that people would hold their feet to the fire the way they're holding their feet to the fire. Big Rich, how you doing? Says, I love to ask her when she starts telling stories about when she was a kid and her mother was in America or was in Canada. This happened. Okay. Maxima, how you doing? He says, folks, that generation don't listen to common sense or logical conversation. That they vote like a cult. It's time for them to sit out or go on the glory for us to see change. Wow.
And the funny thing, that the guy that interviewed her, that is one of her favorite people to interview with. 60 Minutes used to be known as a no nonsense type thing. 60 Minutes always put journalism before politics and all that. They wanted their integrity, they're hard hitting, they're factual. And, Mike Wallace and those guys have passed on, Ed Bradley and all those other guys. But this particular person that interviewed her was one of her favorite interviewers I think this is his third time sitting down with her. And I'm very sure he's listening to the tea leaves out there in the journalism world, that how they're softballing these questions. And yeah, he came at her a little bit, but not too much to where she couldn't, really answer the question. I mean, but that goes to show you guys, for those of you guys that want this woman as president, if she can't deal with the American press, what is she going to do on the national stage?
Right. And I didn't hear Thunder. I didn't hear about another attempt on Trump's life. I didn't hear about that at all. Raven says, Demetri, California had 5 earthquakes in the last 2 months, and one lasted a minute. Yes, I heard about that. According to seismologists, it says if we get a long and strong one, 40% chance of a major tsunami would happen. Yeah, it's just that close. And of course, they've been talking about that and for California for a very long time. And so it just, when is it going to happen? Bama 80, how you doing? Says, being clear should never be a part of Kamala's vocabulary. Yeah, let's be very clear. Okay. Coach Terrence, how you doing? Says they prepped Kamala to dodge those questions and answer softball questions. But yeah, it's like after a while, it gets very obvious that either you don't know, and like somebody else said, you don't want to admit that you effed up because That's what you did, right? Kerman, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Miss Sweets, how are you doing today? And Timothy, what's going on with you? Says Trump said if he wins, we don't have to vote no more. That would be beneficial to him, right? Like, I'm just gonna stay up in here. Yeah, no, I don't think that's how that works. I did see somebody said, can't remember who it was, but they wanted to get rid of the electoral college. I just saw it before I came on here. I forget who it was. CJ says he did want to remove my career over loyalty. Okay, yeah, exactly. And that's a good point. I think Bill, if he's a seasoned professional and is like, what I'm not gonna do, okay, is let us being homies get in the way of my career, right? He's a veteran, he's seasoned, and it gets obvious when they don't ask some questions or tough questions. It's very obvious. It's like you're just trying to give him softball questions. And so he doesn't want his name on the line. But of course, now CBS is accused of editing out the word salad. So he's got to answer to that now, So it's kind of crazy. Ms. D says, I would not have the patience to interview her. I'd probably snap. Tracy says she's going to cackle Donovan. And Carmen says that stopwatch was ticking loud as hell in that interview. She was not happy at all. She doesn't have a good poker face, because even like when he was trying to challenge her on some of the stuff, she kept cutting him off like, I'm going to answer the way I'm going to answer. Let's be clear. 48 says we can't have an Gigi as president. Thunder says, my apologies. The FBI arrested an Afghan man who planned on doing attacks on election day. Yeah. That's what I saw. Yeah, they caught him. But again, how are they catching him and not everybody else? There's the puppy. Hey, Steven, how you doing? He says, every time you mention Harris, I hear the turkey gobble. You know what? Y'all better stop. And her neck shaking and tell your wife we said hello. Frank, he says, black baby boomers get blamed for everything. Yeah, I don't believe everything is their fault. I think there's some things that they continue, but, we help them do it. Mission Vision, how you doing? CJ says, for real. He says, I got to have patience to even listen to her. And that's bad. Get it, girl. How you doing? Says, hey, guys, 60 minutes was 16 minutes of babble. His name is Benny.
Yeah, Benny.
How did you come up with Benny?
Just the way he acts. He's kind of, he's not like vicious that I wanted him to be. I wanted to call him vicious or
not Benny Hill, huh?
Something. Yeah, well, Benny Hill because he's kind of corny. He's kind of he's a pit bull, and he has something else in him. I think it's lab. I'm not exactly sure because he has long hind legs.
He looks a lot like Bell.
Yeah.
You're gonna find yourself calling him Bell.
Nah.
Think so? Hey, Buckhorse, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Well, I'm glad that you got your furry friend. I know that is going to bring you lots of joy. So I'm glad for you. Let's see. MC Fact says, why was the Electoral College created? History, look this up. It's based on slavery. Absolutely. And Tex, how you doing? Says the cops were reasonable for the exonerated 5 being set up. Again, the cops were responsible for the exonerated 5 being set up, not Trump. They keep making out he sent them to prison. It's a distraction from how corrupt New York Police Department is and still are. Yeah, I totally agree with you. Although it was horrible that he took out that ad, but he had no political power. And people forget that he was a Democrat when he was doing all of that. Democrat prosecution, they all, did that. So I don't know why, for whatever reason, people don't want to give that any conversation. But, Brother Reddy says, yeah, Kamala really needs to start wearing a scarf to all public appearances. Y'all crazy. One thing we all going to do is age. We're all going to age, some faster than others. But you know what? Kamala got some money. She go on hiatus. If she wins or she doesn't, she could go and say, Dr. Miami, I'm ready. I would.
Well, but that brings up another question that I have. Maybe you guys can help me answer this. Her story that she was brought up middle class and all this other stuff. Now, I've lived in America for a long time, and I'm not the most educated person, but if both my parents are PhDs, I'm not middle class. So I don't know what her idea of middle class is. So
he says, how many animals live with you, Donovan? He's got a whole little animal kingdom there.
Yeah, including myself. Yeah, there's a lot of us over here.
Hi, Tito. How you doing? And Miss Sweet says, oh, look at the puppy. Brother Reggie, I was thinking that too, Benny and the Jets. And so he does have some Jets now. The cats are now the Jets. Okay, Benny and the Jets.
Because I love it.
No, not those Jets. We're talking about Elton John. Yeah. Patricia says, adorable dog. I thought you would name him Dallas. Now, he doesn't want his dog to be a loser. Tex says, Roland Martin isn't even black anyway. He's similar to Kamala. Okay. Well, he begs to differ. Carmen says, Pitbull and Lab, somebody use a step stool height difference. Okay. I know nothing about dogs. Lady Sofarelli says, greetings to Donovan and Benny. CJ says, that's true. Slavery influenced a lot of stuff, shaking my head. And Brother Ray says, isn't some of the electoral votes moving the other states? It says in 2032, 2036. I have not heard. I don't know. Daryl, how you doing? Says Dimitri and Donovan, you guys should invite Kamala and Doug over for some real greens. That would that would end the cackling. I don't know if Doug is really if he really can handle seasoning like that. Because even when she was talking to Tim Walz, when they were kind of doing their little get to know you, sit down thing, he was talking about cooking tacos, making tacos. And he said something about, I use salt and pepper. She said, so you don't use any other flavors? It was like, now what sister running around talking about flavors? We talking about some seasoning, okay? I don't know damn flavors.
Why is it that you throw some Lowry's on some fries and they're now known as Cajun fries? Come on now.
Right. Thank you, Miss Sweets. And King's Vendetta, he says, glad I found your channel. Peace and love. And we're glad you found us too. Welcome, welcome. And Lawrence, thank you so much for becoming a member. Love and appreciate you for that. And hope you're having a great day. Jamarcus, how are you doing today? I hope it is good. And Lisa, how are you? Says, hi, Dimitri and Donovan. She's laughing and giggling as long as no one is pressing her for direct answers. She's pissed when asked to be specific and don't know what to say. Yeah, it's almost like, how dare you? How dare you? They don't question me. That's the problem. And the crazy part is people have said that about her before. When she was running in 2019, 2020, a lot of her staffers quit because they said she is hard to talk to. And her a lot of her vice presidential staff quit under the same thing, saying you can't say nothing to her. So when you watch
her homework, they're saying they give her her briefings and she doesn't do her homework. But again, if you know the Indian culture, that is the mindset that they have. Seriously, when I was in college, I went to this aviation program here for the VA, whatever, just to get it right. And we had some Indian and Pakistani people in there. The instructor caught them all cheating and using the same essay paper or whatever it was. And they were like, oh, no, not me. I didn't do, and they're just selling each other out. But that's what they do. Well, I don't want to say that that's what they all do, but I'm just saying that culture of shortcut is very prevalent in the Eastern culture. It's very prevalent.
And Mikey says, so how can people get to know you, Kamala? Maybe she don't want people to really know her, and a lot of those candidates, I guess, they put on a political face or whatever the case is. And, I don't know, do we really want to know her? I don't care about personally. It's like, what are you going to do policy wise, but I don't know.
Well, did anybody, and you probably already went over this, Demetra. Sorry, I'm late. Did anybody notice he asked her a point blank question in regards to what would she do? What was it, him or another interview? I can't remember right now because this dog is chewing on my leg right now. Somebody asked her a question. What would she do differently in regards to her and Joe Biden? Did you guys hear her response? Yeah, it was like nothing. So what does that tell you right there? She just lost the election right there, because basically what she's saying is she will be continuing what the Joe administration has been doing and opening the borders and all that other great stuff. I said it. I know a lot of people didn't agree with me. She's a crash test dummy. She was the worst person to go up against Trump, and the Democrats knew this. She was better off not accepting the selection and going, possibly running in 2028, 2032. But again, when you're a hot girl and you've got to the VP position, basically with no accomplishments, you slept with the right people, there's a ceiling. And they were like, hey, we're just going to crash test this chick out, because no politician, even a local politician, would never, her biggest problem, and Demetra's a political person, her biggest problem is she is too strongly identified with the Biden and Harris administration. So she has to distance herself, and she has not done that. This election is over.
Yeah, and I think with that question, she didn't want to answer it like, oh, no, I'm going to do things different, because she didn't want to, I think, seem like she's snubbing Biden, because it's like, on one hand, you said he was the greatest, he just was ready and he could still run and blah, blah, blah. But so if you disagree with that, then it's like you're just really a big old liar. Y'all want to know if Walter will ever be welcome back on the show? Yeah, he'll be welcome back on. I'm actually going to be out there next week, and I might do some sort of a round table with him and his homies. Seems like I came up as a topic of discussion in one of his get together with the guys meeting, and some of them didn't like what I was doing. I said, okay, well, get them all together again. I'll be there, and we can talk about it in real time. I'll even put it on tape.
Remember Little Rascals He-Man Woman Haters Club? That's what it sounds like.
Yeah. I said I'll be there. I said it'd be 20 versus 1. He says, okay, I'm gonna set it up, so we'll see, right? But yeah, Walter's, he's welcome. I think he's learned his lesson. But Terrell, I love him, but yeah, all that nonsense, my nerves just can't. Lauren, she says, I don't want to know that woman. She started out lying about being black. So there you go. We'll never know, right? Thunder says, she's like, how dare you speak to me, peasant? Why aren't you in the potato patch digging my royal spuds?
Have you guys noticed that her sorority is very quiet? The sororos and the fraternities are very quiet lately, because everybody sees with her doing all these interviews. And look at the interviews she's doing. You are going for the most powerful position in the world, and you're doing Howard Stern. You're doing what's that podcast, Call Me Daddy or whatever. I mean, come on. I mean, no respectable, serious candidate is going to be on those platforms, not because, they're bad platforms, but it's what those platforms stand for. That has nothing to do with policy and politics. That's to do with entertainment. But look where she goes. She doesn't want to be in front of the American people with hard-hitting real journalists asking her real questions. She's going to these platforms that are, salacious, just salacious stuff. I mean, Demetra, if you were the president, or possibly being the president of the United States, even if you're the vice president, would you ever catch yourself on Howard Stern?
Nah, yes. If you've ever watched Howard Stern, he's pretty, raunchy, if you will. He's got the black woman Robin sitting up there, and they just be saying all kind of just crazy, racist, disgusting stuff. And she, anyway, Kermit says they set her up. They want, it says they want her to come back in 2028. They had to get a woman. You don't want her to run thing. Yeah. It sure seems like maybe they are setting her up, because it's like this doesn't seem like the path to victory. It's like somebody, like you said, Donna, some of the interviews they got her on, and then she didn't get out the gate for like 2 months or so. not having interviews, and now she's trying to get out there and get them all done with less than 30 days. And it's like, now you just keep stepping in it when you should have just got out there early, stepped in it, and you could tuned up your message. And then right now you've been cruising. Oh, yeah. Then, I understand we opened the border, but listen, we're trying to correct it, this, that, and the other. We were just trying to help, and she's still to the point of like, let's be clear. Let's be really clear.
And the bad thing is, even if she wanted to run in 2028 or 2032, she did so poorly in 2019 or 2020, dropped out there. And then in this run, it is so politically bad. As a matter of fact, there was a show I was watching where they said they have never seen a candidate run so badly for the president. They say she is the worst presidential candidate in the history of the United States. So just think of other things she's done right now, and she's going to try to come back as a serious candidate in 2028. Nobody's going to take her seriously. She's done. Her political career is done.
Y'all wild and talking about the doggone Curry. Where's Walter Wednesday? Yeah, we'll have Walter. Like I said, I'll be out there, so I'll try to set something up where we can have a good old-fashioned debate in real time. So Donovan, if you're available, I'll let you know if that's going to happen. I have to reach out to Walter. Walter's actually my brother, for those of y'all who don't know, my biological brother. Believe it or not. Smart guy, very smart. It's just smart about a whole lot of stuff. And I'll just leave it at that. Brother Reggie says, oh, Sleepy Joe ain't leaving the White House without a fight. Keep throwing Kamala under the bus, Joe. Yeah, you don't see him or Jill anymore. And somebody said, why aren't they out there? Well, Joe was probably like, damn, I could barely get out there for myself, let alone Kamala. And Jill probably can't leave him alone by himself too long. So I don't know. Frankie says, didn't she get a DUI in the past or hit and run? I saw that wasn't true. I don't know. I haven't seen any facts on that. So I don't want to kind of talk about that because it's alleged or speculation.
Alleged. Yeah, there is a lady that if you go to YouTube and you look it up, she's alleging that she was the lady involved and she's a paraplegic. And she's telling her story. But again, we don't know what the situation is.
Yeah, so yeah, I've seen that it wasn't true. So I just try not to further stuff like that. I don't know if it's true or not. I don't know. Mission Vision says she's not making them look so bright. Yes, Walter is my brother. 48 TCO. Thank you so much. It says, what is the issue here? Will pull for Demetra? There's no issue. No issue at all. Y'all, it was a couple of months back. It was a doozy. The show was a doozy. Maximo says the conversation is much different than the conversations you hear on TikTok. The folks over there think she's winning by a landslide. It's called spin. They have to spin it as like, because if they get you to believe it, then maybe they think it'll come true. But we never really know until the election. Because again, they was, marching to the polls with Hillary too. She was, getting ready to get some color swatches for the drapes they was gonna put in. She's about to put in the hot sauce cabinet because she got hot sauce.
That lick on their faces when the results were coming in.
Yeah, she was gonna make sure that Bill wasn't gonna be able to spit nobody else under his desk in his office. They was getting it ready, and then it was like, Trump has been projected the winner. So you never know until it's over, right? Wendy, how you doing? Says, where's the East Indian community? Kamala doesn't mention them. Yeah, well, they do talk to them. They're just like, they're divided. They get to be divided, but Black people don't get to be divided. Some said they will vote for her. Some like, now I'm voting for Trump. And there's some in the middle like, well, what is she going to do for me? I don't know. We never really hear her talk about us. So they're very divided, like almost split.
Yeah, well, and the thing is, you got to remember politically, there's not enough East Indians in the country really to make a difference in what she needs to win the election. That's why the Democratic Party is so ostentatious about going after that Black vote and keeping us on the plantation.
Yeah. Patricia says, Bill Whitaker questioned Kamala about not having a DNC primary, a presidential primary. The billionaire donors and delegates selected Kamala. This is not democracy and will be a problem in the future. Yeah, she said that. He did ask her that. you know, about not being selected. And she says, well, the delegates did. And, you know, the delegates voted for me. And he just completely glossed over what he was saying. Is like, the people, you were not primary. You just kind of walked into, you know, something that was already built, you know, so.
But let me ask you guys this. What does that tell you about, and this is why I believe Joe Biden despises her. When you're the vice president and you are on the ticket, you are supposed to ride or die with that candidate. Like I said, I don't understand the Democratic strategy. If you're going to push Joe Biden out, invoke Article 25 and make her the incumbent president. That way she has a stronger mantra of getting reelected, right? This guy's out of his mind, or he's in cognitive decline. He's got to go, whatever. But this woman did not think about it. You have this person that is supposed to be your second in command, and they did not hesitate to take a position that was offered to them that is your position. She basically backstabbed this man in the back. She should have declined the selection. I mean, everybody's looking at that in the political world, and we know politics, it's about knife fights and money and power and all that other stuff, right? But people are going to look at her like a snake in the politic world moving forward. She is not supposed to go against the ticket that she is on.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And then someone asked, MC Fact, I think it was you, has Howard Stern ever disrespected Black people? He has. And he's got, you know, Robin, her name is Robin. She's been there for years with him, and she just laughs about it, you know? So that's Howard Stern, though, you know?
Girl gotta eat.
Yep. That red boy, how you doing? Says she makes her chicken curry in the bathtub. Y'all better knock it off. Brother Damon, how are you doing? Hope you're doing well. Says rolling in late, positive vibes are all in the chats. Yes, indeed. You're welcome, Quincy, and I hope you're having a great day as well. Thunder says, I think as long as there are no funny business, Trump will win. I will know when we know, right? Quakes, how you doing? It says, is she doing poorly now? I'm in the hospital. Oh, well, prayers to you. Yes, indeed. I hope you will be just fine. He says, until maybe tomorrow. And today is the first time in 4 days I could catch up with the news. Is Kamala on the ropes? I think it's a tie. What they're saying is saying the swing states is really tight. Some polls are saying she's up by a little bit, but really it's a tie, you know, and they're saying that she does not have the bump that they thought she would have, even with all of the, you know, they says that I think she's crossed over $1 billion in donations, from what I understand. I could be wrong, but with all that she had going for her, all the endorsements and stuff, she's basically a tie with Trump.
Yeah, well, and let me add my 2 cents in here. And again, you got to look at it politically. When Hillary ran against Trump, she was way ahead in the polls. Oh, he's so far behind, whatever. Now I want you to think about this. And like I said, let's say the polls are tied, like as they're projecting and they're saying. Do you guys really believe that? Do you really believe, you know, they don't want to show her being blown out the way she's being blown out. I mean, this hurricane response, there's so many things that is going on against her. And we know that when Democrats and Republicans are in a tie, most likely the Republican is the, when it comes to the popular vote, is going to be the one that surges. Because remember in 2016, Hillary was what, 6-8 points ahead? And what happened?
Yeah, so we'll know when we know, right? And HDLC, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. And yes, Quicks, please do get better. The average logical thinker, did I say hello to you? If I did not, hello. He says, facts, they are setting up a terrible presidency. Yeah, something's going on. Because it's just like, I don't know. There's been no significant bumps or none of that kind of stuff, you know? Kerman, he says she would break even with East Indians in South Africa. Like Donovan said, not enough here. And B girl, you says, does Walter have a lisp? I noticed that Walter and Demetra have different accents. No, he doesn't have a lisp. No, not that. No, does he?
No,
No.
Walter gets excited when he talks about money. That's
No, we both from the West Coast, Southern California, that is. Cooking with Miss D says Kamala should be embarrassed, but a sociopath has no emotions. Damn. CJ says exactly, moving out of order already. or as per usual. James says Robin Quivers. Yes, I was gonna say Robin Gibbons, but I know that wasn't right. Robin Quivers. Yes, she's been with him forever. Hey, Monet, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. And Quincy, thank you so much for the donation. Love and appreciate you for that. He says nobody is talking about what if they cheat again, or did we forget? You know what I always say to that? Well, how will we know? How will we know? You know what I mean? They're not like there's always going to be speculation, even if you think about what happened with Al Gore, right? In Florida. They said, Jeb Bush was pulling some strings, but nothing ever came out of that, right? So it's like, how will we really know if there was some cheating going on unless somebody just got caught red-handed, with a bunch of ballots or something in their hand or their backyard or something. But yeah, I get it.
Well, those black women in Georgia that had the what was it? The certs, they were sharing certs or something.
Brother Reddy says Robin Quivers, she left for 17 months, then went back. My white colleagues back in the 90s used to listen to damn Howard Stern in the office. Yeah, I've only seen a couple of, not even an episode, just little snippets here and there throughout the years. But yeah, I just always wonder what was in it for her to just sit up there and just be there. I mean, it was just disrespectful, gross, and just a whole bunch of stuff, right? Michael, how you doing? Long time no see. Says Kamala Harris tried to rap in front of black people and she embarrassed herself. Yeah, she was singing One Nation. One nation under a groove, getting down just for the funk of it. Yeah, come on.
When will they learn that doing those things is very inappropriate to black people? It's like, we want to hear policy. What are you going to do for us? I mean, you guys remember Hollywood Shuffle? Remember when Robert Townsend was like trying to get the acting gig and stuff, and it was the white director was saying, oh no, you aren't black enough. You got to move your butt out a little bit more, whatever. That's the people that are advising her. Like they know blackness. And it's like, the Obama thing, Amazing Grace, all that stuff. It's very insulting. It's very insulting.
Yeah, that's why I'm wondering, Donovan, who's having her do that stuff? It'll be great. Oh yeah, it'll be great. Get out there and sing. Okay, here, make sure you know the lyrics. It's one nation under a groove. Okay, getting down, not getting up, but getting down. Okay. Every time I see it, I'm like, I don't know whether to cry, laugh, or what. It's just he.
Well, the thing is, this is a prime example of how not to run a presidential campaign. It just is. And, when they do the autopsy of this, all the excuses are going to come out why she lost. Oh, she didn't have enough time. Joe Biden was the nominee. She only had so many days. Well, she went to a HBCU. She's a lawyer. You only have less than 90 days to do a presidential campaign, and you expect to win? And you took the job anyway against your own running mate? Come on now. And that's what's going to happen. They're going to blame the black men. They're going to blame misogyny. It's because, the men didn't want to vote for her and all this other stuff. And there wasn't enough time. And they didn't really vet her well. And they didn't treat her well because she's a woman. All of this is going to come out. And the sad thing is, this is not how you run a campaign. With less than 90 days to go, at that point, the Democratic people should have invoked Article 25 on Joe Biden, inserted her as the president. At least she's an incumbent. And then she has a better chance of winning from that point. But for her to backstab this man and barely used him, and you don't want to use him on the campaign trail because he's ineffective. And then when you get up there and you say, there's nothing I would change. There's no decision that Joe Biden made that I would change. You lost. You're done. You're a crash test dummy.
Yeah, HGLC, you're right. Robin makes about $10 million a year, sitting up there Robin with Howard Stern. So yeah, I guess so. But yeah, I just wonder why. But I mean, obviously the money, but still, Sister Shirley, it says Judge Joe Brown says she is very lazy. Yes, I've been seeing some clips of Joe Brown. He does not like Kamala. But Patrice, she says, did Derek Johnson and the black political firms obtain any funding from the Harris campaign? That's a good question. I know that a lot of black organizations were like, yeah, we, especially the media outlets, they're like, yeah, we're getting snubbed. She's, well, her campaign is giving it to a lot of white firms or non-black firms. So again, I'm wondering when is she going to go on a Roland show? Hopefully it's in the works. I don't know. I'm going to start a campaign. Please go talk to Roland. He loves you, and I'm sure he misses you. Maybe he doesn't want to talk to her. Maybe he's like, nah, I'm good. Who knows? Nora, she say, can't wait to see the look on her face if she loses. Get your popcorn ready. I don't know. This election cannot be over soon enough, so we can get on to the business of whatever it is we need to do. Kermit says, go, Demetra. That's what Kamala, she was singing. She was, come on. Like, I guess she wants somebody to sing it with her. I don't know. HDLC says the mothership is landing. Angela, how you doing? Says, I heard today she was drinking beer. Was she really? She was somewhere drinking beer in the open?
Was it Billy Beer?
How many of you guys know?
How many of you guys know what Billy Beer is?
Never heard of it.
Jimmy Carter's brother was hawking Billy Beer during Jimmy Carter's election run, and it was like a locally, made beer. So it's called Billy Beer.
Learn something new every day. Stay woke. How you doing? Salute to you as well. Rain, how are you? Hope you're doing well. You said to Norris, you have your favorite popcorn and drinks for the election night. Tuesday. Yeah, we're usually here on a Tuesday. I don't know. Maybe we should do the election night special if they call the election that night. They're
probably going to call the election that afternoon. It's going to be just such a blowout. I predict it's going to be a blowout because I cannot see how people think that this woman is going to win with disaster. Nobody knows her. They don't know. And people that have made up their mind have made up their mind. Those swing voters and the undecided, they've seen all they needed to see after the 60-minute election. I mean, they've given her chance after chance, and she is just not up to the task.
Yep. FME says Kamala is surrounded by whites, is not one nation under God. Okay. And Nora says that she wants to be black, drink some Mad Dog 2020.
Right, some St. Ives, some Coke 45, something.
I had a conversation with somebody the other day. I swear, for God, I almost went to the bottle. I almost grabbed me a bottle. I kid you not. I don't even drink, but I was like, I need something to take the edge off because my God. You ever just have a conversation with somebody and you're like, you're just slow. You're like, your head is, it stressed me out. I haven't got stressed out lately, but that stressed me out.
Yeah, you're doing battle with an unarmed person intellectually.
And it wasn't even, I was trying to help them, like impart some wisdom, and they want to keep going back to square one. I was like, what are we drinking? Daryl says, have you guys noticed the commercials on A&E when it's black people? It's about comedy and cooking with Latinos. It's about immigration reform and Latinos getting political power. I've noticed a lot more Latinos on TV, but I don't watch television per se. It's normally like YouTube or Netflix or something like that, but I'll take your word for it. 48 TCO, he says, make sure them donations ain't on green dot cards. You crazy. Quick, she says, makes sense. If he's incompetent, he is. If not, then he's not. Okay. And Kermit says, Nancy Pelosi shenanigans. Oh, well. All right. And Michael says, Kamala Harris knows how to code switch with her accent. Yeah. I've seen her out there. She had a Latino accent, and, I guess she's figured she got to do what she got to do. Lene says they will blame everyone but themselves. It's the Democrats' fault for doing such a crummy job and for ignoring Black Americans for all these years. You're absolutely right. It is nobody's fault but theirs. That red boy says, Kamala is what happens when you try to be Black, but no Black people are advising you on how to be Black. Ding, 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 ding. That is it. That is it. She has all them folks. She got them folks right. Oh, I think that'll be great. Yeah, they love song and dance. I think they like Bootsy and the funk of that. I think they like, yeah. Just make sure you kind of if you can, Kamala, just snap on the beat. Try to, you know, the 2s and the 4s, not the 1s and the 3s. Okay. That's exactly what's going on. She got them folks telling her how to cosplay, how to, you know, relate to the blacks. Hey Al, how you doing? He says, stop saying I don't know. Oh, and I said, I don't know. That's because I really don't. When I say I don't know, it's like in my head, I can't come to a conclusion. So it's like, I don't know. Tracy says, Kamala already said she wasn't for us. And Trump said we relate to him because he's a criminal and both the trash. Right. It's crazy. Raynard, how you doing? Says Donovan. Josh Shapiro is looking really good now, isn't he? Plus, doesn't it seem that Joe Biden is deliberately sabotaging Kamala Harris? It's rumored that the Biden and Harris camp are infighting rather. I believe it.
Well, yeah, no, I believe it. I mean, this man actually thought he was the better selection. You know, remember, the president is what? The leader of the Democratic Party. So if he's not how would you feel? You're supposed to be the leader of the party, and they're pushing you out the damn door because of numbers. I'm the president. I'm the one that's going to run. Yeah, well, I have nothing to lose by sabotaging them. And I bet you his wife is like, yeah, y'all going to do my Joe this way? She's probably in on it too and says, yeah, we're going to screw them every chance we get. Because think about it. She was doing a primetime speech, and then he does one 2 minutes later. You can't tell me that's not sabotage.
Right. Oh, Mr. South Carolina bred Gullah accent. You say, y'all say Kamala Harris is an entertainer. What was Trump, a criminal, white supremacist, bigot, sexual predator, etc.? Who's entertained by Trump? Apparently you are. Because you got him wrapped down tight, don't you? You know everything about the man. Is it boxers or briefs? You know? And it wouldn't be the first time an entertainer has run for president and won. Ronald Reagan was one of them. But I would venture to say all of them are engaging in kabuki theater. So I think they're all entertaining us to some degree because we don't know their real agenda or the real them. But yeah, I never said Kamala was an entertainer. I don't see her as an entertainer at all. So CJ says, I have my smart food and LaCroix ready. You know, I don't like smart food. I like to go to the stove and shake it up food like they used to do, you know. Matter of fact, I think I'm going to do me something tonight. MC007, how you doing? Yeah, you said Kamala made the DNC a lot of money and they used her as well. Yeah, you might be on to something. Steven says, bad weather, bad politics, bad policies, and bad cooking. Angela says it was interviewed. It was interviewed with some host. Okay. Reggie, not her drinking Miller High Life. You better stop. Was she really on Miller High Life on Stephen Colbert? For real? Come on now. Now she doing a little bit too much. Colt 45, some Thunderbird, Cisco, Four Locos. What was it? You know, Ripple. She has some Ripple up on there. I mean, like the most hood drink you could think of. Super Sacco and gin. Y'all know I just aged myself with the Super Sacco and gin. Oh my God. Rain says some booms form. There you go. That's too bad. Hey Frank, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. OE. Nah, MC Fact said OE. I'm looking to see if somebody gonna say St. Ives up in here. A private stock, Mike. Now you know you took it way back. That reminds me when I went to visit my cousin in New York. Well, it was actually Connecticut, and you know they have the bootleggers, right? When after hours, or on Sundays they don't sell alcohol and stuff. So in her apartment complex or whatever it was, you know, like projects, what it is more than anything, they had a bootlegger, and we got some private stock. I was 18. I think that's kind of like the first time I had drank anything. Oh my God, it was strong. A private stock. Man, 48 TCO says, can they stop playing her commercials during NFL game? During NFL games, she gives my team bad luck. Go Texas. Yeah, and all on the radio station, just Kamala. I'm like, I guess they just won't let Trump advertise at all, huh? Star Child, how you doing? Long time no see. He says Africans are replacing blacks on TV and movies. Yeah, there's another movie. Is it Otis Redding? Yeah, I think Otis Redding is getting a movie, and what's that African brother's name? He was playing in Star Wars. John Boyega. He's gonna do it along with somebody else, and people are upset. They're like, "Why won't you use a Black American actor to portray that of Otis Redding?" So I don't know if that'll do well. Raven says Kamala will lead you to mix Henny and and Mad Dog 2020 Day. Yeah, that'll mess you up right there. Studio, how you doing? Says Kamala allowed millions of illegals into the country, and that only hurts Black Americans. Well, it doesn't only hurt us, but it hurts us the most. But a lot of everybody else is waking up like, yeah, nah. Especially with all these hurricanes and stuff going on, and people getting their FEMA applications denied and stuff. But you're hearing about the immigrants coming over, and they're saying, yes, you don't even have to ask. Of course. But people who are having their whole houses mowed down is like, no, I don't think we're gonna be able to help you. We don't have no money. But yeah, so a lot of people don't like that. Lauren says no soul whatsoever. Brother Reddy says just move your shoulders, Kamala, no hips, please. You have no rhythm, right? Can you imagine them instructing her? And Brother Perry says pandering is not reparations. It's absolutely not. Ron, how are you? Black first, yes indeed. Cooking with Miss D says, can you imagine Kamala breakdancing at the border? You better quit. Tracy says she went to an HBCU but still don't know us. Isn't that odd? I totally agree. Because yeah, that her singing One Nation Under a Groove told me all I needed to know about her. And I'm not even being funny. It told me everything I needed to know. I was like, that's it. I'm convinced. Gary says, I'm still wondering why Magic Johnson sold out. Yeah, he didn't even need to do it. Stand up there admonishing Black men. It's like, who are you to tell Black men what to do? You know, I saw somebody run him down something fierce. Say, you slept with all these women. You are out of control doing this, that, and the other. Now you're going to try to tell Black men what to do? Now you better focus on yourself, you know. Star Child says Kamala are wrong for this mess. Buckhorse says facts. Ronnie says, I don't know about you guys, but I'm going upstairs to take a bath with some greens after that. I wipe myself down with some baby oil. You know what? You better leave that baby oil alone. Damon, he says Kamala might get votes if she shows some legs. Yeah, throwing a little red lipstick or some little curly hair to the side, maybe just drop a button or something, and I think that might work. Jupiter, he says, Demetra, I am switching channels and watching Roly Poly doing panel discussions on how to get Black men to vote for Kamala Harris, and all he's doing is Jedi tricks and over talking men from what they something. Yeah, I mean, Black men don't respect Roland. Not a real Black man. Now, I can't speak for Black men, but they don't really respect Roland like that. Sassy, twerking, shuffling with Hillary Clinton, and just doing the most, right? He could try, but I don't know how successful he'll be. I think the Black men that are going to vote for him, Kamala, they already listened to him, right? They're already like, yeah, you go, girl. Let me stop. MC007, he say, I believe Biden knew what was up by the DNC pushing him out. Yeah, and what's her name? Nancy Pelosi. Kermit says they told Biden, I don't know where you're going, but you got to get the heck out of here. Quincy says, Jill said, put the Trump hat on, Joe. Didn't he put on the Trump hat at one of those things somewhere? Studio says Magic Johnson is always sold out. Yeah, that was a bad look. What? A brother says, I did not sleep with that woman. I only put cigars in her. Right. That was Bill Clinton. Damon says Steph Curry is is for her as well. Yeah, I saw that. Lene says a house divider is the Democrats. CJ says I have a popcorn maker too. It's definitely hits differently. Yeah, and on the stove, oh my God, it's just nothing like it. I'm telling you, I'm gonna make me some, even though I probably shouldn't be eating, but I'm gonna eat some anyway. With some sparkling water. And let's see here. Buckhorse says, Mac, I saw that ish too. I can't believe Magic. He effed me up. Lord Flawless, how you doing? Says, I think he's offended that he heard entertainer instead of the proper term, clown. Yeah, I didn't want to go there. Brother Ed says she was on Stephen Colbert. I'm not joking this time, for real. I have to check that out. She was not Parmesan. You better stop, FM. Y'all coming out with all the hood drinks. Is Parmesan a hood drink? I know some hood people who be drinking it. And so I don't know. I know nothing about alcohol. Timothy, you crazy. Mad Dog 2020. Yes, indeed. All the hood classics. Drink it. Kamala drinking Cisco. I don't know. All right, so let's see here. Perry, you love Cisco. You love Cisco? I know that's a hard drink right there. That's a hard one right there. Dusty Hotel Pipe, Night Train. Brother Don, how you doing? Miss White, how are you doing? Hope you're doing well. Ravi says, in the words of Fred Sanford, Harris was on drinking cripple or ripple. Is that what it is? Let's see who else came on. Hennessy. Yeah, I know nothing about all these drinks, y'all. It could be rubbing alcohol as far as I'm concerned. I don't drink. Otis and Velma, is that what it is, James? Okay, yeah. So John Boyega, they mad about that. They're like, nah, we need some black people to be doing Otis Redding. Sky Dancer, how you doing? Miss Sweet says, I watched too much TV growing up. You know, I wasn't allowed to watch a lot of TV. I think that's probably why I don't watch it now. I try, and you know, it's October, Halloween's my favorite time of year. And I said, I'm going to watch 3 horror movies a week. And I haven't watched one. Oh, I did go see The Joker last Saturday. That's all I'm going to say about that. Miss Sweet says, did anyone listen to the new Mozart song that was just released? No, I didn't know that Mozart was releasing music. Maybe his estate. I don't know. Do tell. Brother Reggie says, I hope her father comes on TV the last week of the election. Now you see why I disown this heifer. Yeah, I'm wondering, like, how come he hasn't come out to validate her? Like, I'm black, damn it, I'm black. I never taught my daughter to wash greens in a tub. I wondered that too. Why hasn't he come out to say anything? I think it's weird.
Well, you know, if your daughter has a chance of being the most powerful person in the world, would you come out and say anything, especially when Candace Owens is on your right flank, exposing your whole family history? It's kind of one of those things.
Yeah. We're about to get out of here. And Perry says, Magic Johnson needs to teach his son how to be a man instead of telling us brothers on who to vote for. Uh-oh. TEW says, Roland is definitely pro-Kamala. So not sure why she has an interview with him already. Dave Ramsey asked for an interview, and they said the request was under review. Yeah, I guess they must have shoved Roland Martins all the way up under the damn desk, right? Like, I'll get to it when we get to it. He's already shilling, and yeah. You know, he's already doing a lot for us. So we're just, you know, we don't need to reward him anymore. What do we need to talk to him about? He's doing all of the talking for us.
Well, if you think about it, with that Tiffany Henyard interview, I mean, you can't go wrong. I mean, he softballed her, and she was able to get out there, didn't follow up on any questions and stuff, and she destroyed a whole town. And right now, she's working on a whole village.
And what's going on with that? Like, how in the world is she still sitting up there acting crazy? Then they say she came for a meeting for a couple of minutes and left.
Yeah, basically the trustees had their own meeting, and she's been sanctioned by a judge not to. The judge sanctioned both of them to work together, but she still wants to do her shenanigans. And he basically told her, you know, she cannot appoint without the trustees and so on and so forth. So she can still go to the trustee meeting because she is the mayor that by law she runs the meetings. And she showed up, and basically she was saying how illegal the meeting that the trustees had was. But if it's illegal, why did you show up? If it's an illegal meeting, you know what I mean? It's just craziness abound.
Y'all wilding now with these old ass drinks. Miss Sweet, she says, my uncle loved Night Train turned into a nightmare. Yeah, I'd imagine that stuff is strong. What's the word? Thunderbird. That's old school right there. I'm telling y'all, I don't even drink, but I know all the drinks, right? Yeah, the Joker too is listen, I didn't hate it. It was just too dark. You know, like when you see the Joker, and I guess it was a different Joker, and I saw both of them, by the way, with Joaquin Phoenix, which he's an awesome actor. Awesome actor. It was just so dark. It's like, damn, is he gonna get a break at all? Is it God? Then they had an unnecessary scene in there. I was like, what was the point? What was the point of any of this? So I didn't even mind the music because it was songs that we knew, right? But that shit, excuse my French, I was low-key kind of mad about that. Anyway, Miss Sweet said I love horror movies. How was a Joker movie? It was okay. You know, like I said, I think it didn't do Joaquin any justice, even though he acted he was bones, skin and bones. Like when they first showed him walking out, you could see all of the bones in his back, right? He starved himself, I guess, for the role. But it's just a tragic character. Tragic. I didn't feel good about that movie at all. Malika, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Anyway, we're about to get out of here. Just want to acknowledge anybody have not seen Gospel. How you doing? Bartles and James. God dang it. No, she didn't say no Bartles and James. What was the other?
Remember that Bruce Willis commercial, Seagram's?
Yeah. Oh my God. But not Bartles and James. What's that? Was it the Seagram's coolers?
Bruce Willis used to piss the Seagram's coolers. Seagram's cooler.
Not Bartles and damn James. Wow. What's the other one? Sundance. Well, it's a marvelous time for a Sundance. I remember that commercial when I wasn't even in high school, and I remember they were all drinking it. Obviously, it's was it Bob Scaggs? I think Moon Dance, but they turned it into Sundance. And I wanted to taste it. I think I did once. I was like, okay, Raven. You say Obama didn't want her. Obama wanted to go to the convention.
Yeah, he wanted an open primary, and he was telling them, "You got to go to the open primary." Yeah.
Yeah, because he took him and Michelle a while to come out. Hey, Mad Dog, how you doing? Since the state of Illinois is protecting Teflon Tiffany. Yeah, I don't get it. Queen of Diane, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Yeah, I don't understand why she's still on there. She up there like, who gonna check me? Boo, I'm the super mayor. You know,
well, you got to remember, it's the same thing that goes on in Oakland. When it's a black town or a black city, they let chaos reign as long as they possibly can do it before they will step in and put in their people, or the people that they want to rescue the Negroes who don't know how to govern themselves. See, this is why we got to come in. It's called the White Shadow syndrome. You guys remember the show, The White Shadow?
Yeah.
The white coach. What was the whole premise of the show? The white guy had all the answers to save their lives and all that other good stuff.
Yeah, these poor, black kids that came from, other places, and he was, the great white hope. I remember my mom and them watching that show. Mm-hmm. CJ says, y'all are so many drinks I know nothing about. I know about Mad Dog and Four Locos because we'd sneaking in college, but that's it. Yeah, Four Locos will make a person go crazy. I never want to touch it at all. So anyway, y'all keep saying Easy Jesus, Tito. Somebody else is talking about some Easy Jesus. Angela says my cousin Jerry the Wino used to call Thunderbird Thunder Chicken. Now that's a new one. Daryl says Heath Ledger was the best Joker ever. And Jack Nicholson, he was a good Joker as well. But this Joker, like I said, I like Joaquin. This Joker just. It just, I don't like dark movies that are just dark all the way. It's just dark. Did I say hello to you, Kel? He says, pink champagne. My God. Carmen says, Demetri, they must have had a Netflix moment out of nowhere in that movie. There's just certain scenes I don't care for in movies. I'll just say this. He was in prison, okay? And I'll leave it at that. Thunder says, I think Amazon Prime is having a sale today. So if you need to stock up on any necessities, today is a good day to do it. Everything from medical supplies to solar. Yeah, it's Prime Day. Problem is, it's so much stuff on there. Van Morrison. Then I say Bob Scaggs. Yes, Kels. Van Morrison. Thank you for the correction. Sonny, how you doing? Okay, I think I got to everybody. Rain says, pink champagne was the first alcohol beverage that you drank. Yeah, I heard of it, but never had it. Wow, Thunder says Jägermeister shots and a pint of Guinness with a shot of Bailey's that brings back memories. They call them Boilermakers. I call that a hangover. Irk and jerk, brother Reggie. Irk and jerk. E and J. Golden wine cooler. Wow. Y'all, I'm glad I'm not an alcoholic because I sure be up in there mixing up a whole bunch of stuff. Wow, Irish Rose down. I'm just looking at it. And Caesar, so Donovan says Cesar Romero, yes, the triple OG. The OG Joker. Yeah. Tracy says, luckily I had to use the bathroom. That scene was over by the time I got back. Thank God. Because I'm like, why did y'all need to put that in there? I mean, he was already so... I think he will be nominated for an Oscar. I think that he will. He did a great job. But it was just like, after all he was going through, like... I was kind of... Like, that during that scene, you could feel the whole movie theater was just still. Nobody was saying anything, like, for a minute or so. Like... Why? You know, why? JL, how you doing? Says Coolidge was the center of the of the White Shadow. Michael, how you doing? Says car bomb combined shot of Jameson's and Bailey's dropped into a pint of Guinness. Wow. So anyway, Thunder, you crazy sauce. Thanks to Mildred, I know how to make homemade peach brandy. Thunder has a couple of seasoned old ladies with the slips and the roll down socks like donuts and the, you know, dropping little cigarette ashes in the food, mixing it up type of thing. Roll to the hard pink rollers with the net over it. That's the type of ladies he likes. Christian brothers, huh? So anyway, I love and appreciate every last one of y'all. What's this, Wednesday? Be back on Sunday. We'll be back on Sunday. So in the meantime, you have a great rest of your day. I'm going to try to come before y'all live a half an hour or so, one day a week. I don't know when, but I'm going to try to do that so we can just have a conversation about, I don't know. We'll see. But anyway, in the meantime, you guys have a great rest of your evening. Love and appreciate you. Peace.